Good afternoon and welcome back. You can see, kind of been going through this bed quite a bit. Plenty of weeds. That'll change eventually. But, real quick, what I was going to say is, we got potatoes. You can see each one of the planters have potatoes coming up. This one, no. There, all three of them are coming up there. And this one right here. They are on their way up. Now, the ones we planted in the beds, I see one right there. They're a little slower because we planted them a little deeper. But what I was going to do today is I'm going to come over here and it is time to clean the weeds out of this and go ahead and get ready because I've got tomatoes and peppers on the front porch and it's warmed up enough to where it's time to get them in. So, first things first, I'm going to clean out all the weeds. I've got a robin over here that is mad at me. She's got a nest right there in that bush, but maybe it won't be too intense. Anyway, I'm gonna real quick clean out all the weeds and we'll get started on planting before the rain comes in because it's starting to be overcast. So hang out for just a minute and I'm thinking we can get this done real quick. And bam, look at that, snapped away. I figured if Thanos can snap away half of all life in the universe, I can truly snap away some weeds. And not only did I snap these away, somehow it worked. I snapped these away too. And while I was snapping my weeds away, I noticed I was wrong. The potatoes here in the beds are coming up. We got 3 little ones there, and I got one over here right against the stick that's coming up. And well, I don't see any in this little row right here yet, but they're there. They're coming up. So I managed to snap away all the weeds. Now I do apologize because my snap only works here in the backyard. So if you had weeds in your garden before I snapped, they're probably still going to be there. I apologize. But anyway, real quick, I'll show you what we're going to put in. Alright, so on the end over here, these 3, I have cherry tomatoes. And you're going to know these as your little salad tomatoes. You've got Better Boy tomatoes, and these are going to be your larger, your slicing tomatoes for cheeseburger, sandwiches, that sort of thing. And then the last group of tomatoes I've got, these are Rutgers, and they're popular because they're hardy and they produce a lot, so they're not going to let you down. So as far as tomatoes, this is what I've got. Now on the end down here, I've got sweet banana peppers and bell peppers. I'm going to put them in here as well, separate them. But when it comes to planting tomatoes, one thing that we always do, let me scan down a little bit, we use Epsom salt. So you put a scoop of Epsom salt in each hole where you're planting your tomatoes, and calcium. So you'll break in half one of these calcium tablets, and each hole gets, say about a half of one of these. The tomatoes love calcium, the Epsom salt helps them. It's just something that we've always done, and it really does help. So, and we'll see that throughout the year as we watch them grow. But I'm going to go ahead, get started digging, get started laying out, and we'll get these planted today. Alright, so let me show you something really quick with one of the Rutgers. You can see I've already put in some holes. But one thing, when you're planting your tomatoes, before you plant it, you're going to want to knock off some of these lower leaves, these lower branches. And if you'll notice, the hole is definitely going to be deeper than the level of the tomato when it came out of the cell pack. Actually, it could even be a little deeper than that. Tomatoes like to be buried. So when you plant this, you're going to put a couple inches of the stem under the ground up to the more dominant branch here, and it's going to love it. It'll absolutely love it. You're not going to kill it by burying it deeper than the level of the soil when it came out of the cell pack. So that's just something to keep in mind. Obviously, we still got to put our Epsom salt, we still got to put our calcium and everything in there. So while we wait for the tomatoes to perk up, because they look a little puny now that they're planted, which is normal, I figured I'd bring you down here to the compost and show you. We've, off camera, really been working and adding to this. You can see there's a couple eggshells, but today I've got a bunch of leftover stuff out of the house, vegetables that didn't get used, eggshells. Honestly, I don't know what all's in here. Lettuce, tea bags, there's some potato peels. But then normally get a pitchfork, mix it in. I also have grass clippings from a job where we've been vacuuming the yard. Pour those in there on top of it. And you can see, just kind of, you just leave it. And over time it's going to break down. There's several layers in here of just compost, and then more grass, some leaves, some vegetable matter, leaf matter, and you just pile it, let it break down, and keep piling it. So we'll go back up to the vegetables now and see how they look. Alright, so if you enjoyed watching this and you want to see what else is to come, even though we have both beds full, well, this one's starting to get a hole, and there will be cucumbers and squash coming in at some point. But as of right now, we're pretty well planted, but we still got all the fields down at Mom and Dad's. With the kids getting out of school here in a couple weeks, I'm definitely going to be freed up in the mornings to do a lot more content out and about the county. So there's always more to come. I'm excited to bring you more. If you enjoyed it, like, share, leave a comment, whatever you want to do. It really helps, and it helps us grow. We are growing slowly but surely, and that's something that I enjoy. So if you liked it, come back and see us. I'll have more hopefully next week.